Hello again, and we are now down to the fourth part of this course. Let's talk about prior art search. Why prior art search? In the previous slides, I emphasized that filing for a patent application requires that your invention must be novel, inventive, and industrially applicable. There is only one way to determine the novelty and inventiveness of an invention best known to patent practitioners, and that is to conduct a prior art search. Prior art search considers all information, patent or non-patent documents, known to the public that may render the features of an invention lacking novelty and inventiveness, or the other way around. As you can see in this slide, I included Lazada, Shopee, eBay, Alibaba are among the popular online sources of information regarding the existence of any product or technology. In the same manner, on-site hardwares, malls, markets are avenues of informations for prior arts. So if products that can be seen in any of these are related to your product, what can be new in your product? Remember the guidelines in our previous lectures on assessing novelty and inventive step. Now, if say your concept of invention is not yet seen in any of those avenues, maybe somebody has already conceived similar invention and has not yet reached the market, but has already filed a patent application. Or maybe somebody has already acquired a patent for it. It's now time to consult patent databases. Thus, we perform the so-called patent search. A patent search looks at least the closest patent documents to which the present invention can be compared with and detect features in the present invention that may have existed in the previously granted inventions, thus rendering the application not patentable, or again, the other way around. If there is, it may be disheartening, but at least you know. Now, these are some of the most used databases which are free. The Google Patents, SPASnet, United States Patent Office, Intellectual Property Office of the Philippines, Patent Scope of WIPO, and lens.org. Here are the URLs of the sites. Here are the screenshots of patent search performed in Google Patents. Here are the screenshots of patent search performed in SPASnet. Before I do demonstrations on how to go about doing patent search, here are some notes I want you to consider before you do your own patent search. Remember that if you follow this outline, you will be on the advantage of really knowing how your applications for invention patent will perform when it finally falls on the desk of a patent examiner. So first, figure out search words that defines your invention. Second, compose a list of search string or search strings with Boolean operators, which I'm going to introduce later on. Third, experiment on IPC or International Patent Classification Code in the strings. And fourth, collect relevant patent documents to compare your invention with. Keywords or key phrases. As you would do when searching for information on Google, think of a word or phrases that describe the information you want to elicit and expect the internet to bring relevant content choices. It will be best to list down exhaustively words or phrases that, once put into the search field, will elicit patent documents that may be similar or at least relevant to your invention. Consider including in the list the purpose or use of your invention, the parts of the invention, and synonyms for the elements or parts involved. It will help much if you can provide a clear description of your invention. Based on that description, do your list and use it as guide to do the search. For example, if your invention is a mousetrap, your description may read something like this: a mousetrap having a cage constructed in a manner that cleaning is easy. It is provided with a sensor remotely connected to a device that informs a user about the presence of a mouse inside the trap. It is very important that you should have a picture of the embodiment of your invention, at least in your mind. But having a clear sketch and description such as this will come handy. The purpose is for you to have something to compare with in case you bump into a relevant invention or patent document. Once you have a clear description and maybe a sketch of your invention, your keyword and key phrase list may include the following. The next step is to compose strings using these keywords and key phrases. A search string is the combination of words, phrases, IPC, and oftentimes using search operators, such as Boolean operators. Refrain from randomly typing words in the search fields. Use the benefit of creating sound search strings to target or filter the closest prior arts relevant to your invention. And from the list that you created, learn how to make strings that target the patent document, which will help you figure out the novelty and inventiveness of your invention by comparing. Boolean operators include inserting the words and, or, and not in between keywords or key phrases. Now, using the Boolean operator and placed in between two words will tell the system to look for documents where both of those said terms can be found in specified section of a patent document. For example, mouse and trap would mean that the system will look for the word mouse and at the same time trap in a single document. The same with vermin and trap, animal and trap, rodent and catcher. The Boolean operator or placed in between two words or two phrases will tell the system to look for documents containing either of those words, such as to look for either mouse or vermin in a single document, animal or mouse, and trap or catcher in such or a single document. For the Boolean operator not placed in between words will tell the system to include documents containing words or that word before the Boolean not, but exclude documents containing the word after the Boolean not. For example, include all documents containing fruit, but exclude documents that has pineapple. And the second example, to include documents talking about metal, but exclude those documents containing aluminum. Now, based on the description you created and from which you came up with keywords and key phrase list, your string can include such as this: mouse and trap and cage and easy maintenance. This can only be one of the many strings you can create, and I would suggest that you create as many. Use this string to input in the search field of the database, such as this in the SPASnet. When you hit enter after inserting the keywords in the search field, here is the example. The SPASnet returned 17 documents that you can examine. You can click on each of these documents to read the content. If the number of documents may be too big to read, try further experimenting on your search string. In Google Patents, I prefer to go to the advanced search and type my keywords. Instead of directly typing in the search field, I type my keywords on the field found at the upper right hand side of the screen. Each of these fields is understood to be separated by the Boolean operator AND, such as mouse or animal, and trap and sensor. And in this case, I've already included the IPC. Now let's talk about experimenting on IPC code in your string. There's maybe a long talk about the IPC, but here I'm going to give you a simple technique, no, on how to leverage on IPC. The IPC, or the International Patent Classification, is a classification system used in classifying patent documents concerning their respective technical field. The Cooperative Patent Classification is an extension of the IPC and is jointly managed by the European Patent Office and the US Patent and Trademark Office. It has 9 sections, which you are going to discover later on, from A to Y, each with classes, subclasses, groups, and subgroups. There are approximately 250 classification entries. Now, how to do this? You go to ISPASnet. And once you're in the ISPASnet, you just click on the classification search. And you will be directed to a page that shows you the what I mentioned, 7 sections of the classifications. Upon clicking any of these, it will be expanded into more classes, subclasses, groups, and so on. Now, for a shortcut, all you need to do is type keywords in the search field and hit enter. Once you do that, you will be provided with so many IPC code which are relevant to the term or phrase or keywords that you entered in the search. What are you going to do with this? You can read the description of each IPC code, and you can take one code at a time and experiment on adding each in your search string, such as this in the Google Patents. So once you include a relevant IPC, your search return will be more targeted and filtered. And so that's it. Now you can easily look for relevant prior arts or prior inventions for you to compare your invention with, to tell you if your invention is novel and inventive, again, before you attempt on filing for a patent. In the next video, I'm going to show you an example of a completely documented patent application. And I will see you there.